get to have a chance to chat to Usman at all after? Is he okay?
Just quickly, he seemed okay. Just a little bit of a sore jaw, so yeah, monitor it. But he seemed, okay.
Just the kind of pitches we've seen so far. I mean, there was a time in Australia where Test cricket was played in a way where a lot of runs got scored and the Test match got deeper. Just from a bowler's perspective, to have these sort of low-scoring Tests, how have we looked at those?
It's nice. My first couple of summers, it felt like even the games that we won, or in particular the games that we won, you're bowling 45 overs as a quick bowler. Like, you're finishing on day 5 and you're pretty bruised and battered. So haven't really had that for the last couple of summers, which is great. Feels like, say 100 that Trav got yesterday holds even more significance. You got to, earn basically every run you get. So I love it. It feels like you're only, or you're always in the game, even if you're out of it. And it feels like even when you're a little bit ahead, a quick half an hour can turn the game. So I quite like the Test matches.
When you made a Test debut, had obviously different circumstances, but you're also this young kid who had not played a lot of first-class cricket. You ended up as a classic Test, but just to see Shamar Joseph with his background and just the freedom with which he played, just as a fan of Test cricket, like, how good is that to see?
It's great. I told him he's not number 11. He's much better than that. But just complete freedom. I think you first of all saw it when he was batting. You don't overthink it. You just, if you see the ball there, you swing hard. And then looked like a class bowler. A couple of big wickets. So it was great to see. As a cricket fan and a Test cricket fan, it's always good to see young players come through and look like they belong straight away. And you could see that he was absolutely loving it, and why not?
How did that pitch compare to, I suppose, previous Adelaide months? Was it within the parameters I guess you used to? Was there a bit more grass on it? Just, how it cut before?
I haven't played for a couple of years here. I think, really similar in terms of the amount of grass, and felt like, even if, you bowled a couple of overs where you didn't feel like it was doing too much, still felt like you bowl one ball that just suddenly nipped out of nowhere, which I think's good. Feels like you're always in the game. Probably wasn't as quick as some of the previous Adelaide wickets, but overall I thought, not a bad wicket.
And just on, you had, I think it was nearly 70,000 people here for potential an hour or thereabouts on cricket. I mean, how was the experience of Adelaide for you and the crowds you get here relative to, I guess, other venues?
It's fantastic. Every year we always say this is one of our favourite Test matches because the crowd feels like the whole city gets behind it. Also the stadium and pitch and all those things is always immaculate. So we absolutely love playing here, and I think this week epitomised that. 60-odd thousand people over 2.5 days on a weekday in a slot where it's not normally there. It's been really well supported, so pretty awesome.
Hey, that's about Josh. I think he's got 13 wickets in about 8 in his last 3 innings. It's like only a year ago that people were questioning his Test cricket future. His body couldn't get right. Just wanted your assessment of how he's going at the moment and the value he is to that attack.
He's flying at the moment, isn't he? Getting up to Test level in terms of getting your body ready for Test cricket. Once you're up there, you're okay. But if you kind of have an injury and you're set back, it's sometimes hard to get going. So I think he just had some injuries at the wrong times over the last couple of years and missed a couple of key series. But he's back to, I guess, the Joshy that we all remember and know, and just shows his worth to the team. With the new ball, he can strike early and have him 2 or 3 down before you kind of know it. But just right-handers, left-handers, basically all conditions, he finds a way. And as a captain, it's pretty easy to give him the ball and just know he's going to go to work. And he's showed his class on 2 very different wickets that he'll find a way to kind of take command of the game.
Yeah.
Just further to that, at the risk of tempting fate, just given how quickly you're finishing some of those tests, it's sort of increasingly likely to feel reasonable that you, Mitch and Josh could get through all 7 tests over this period?
Yeah, it's trending that way. Again, always give it a day or two to see how everyone pulls up, but I think everyone's in good spots, so I'd say chances are we'll line up again next week. So, yeah, start of the summer didn't think it was going to be the case, but it's shaping up that way, which is, a huge nod to, I guess, the fitness of the guys and the medical team and a couple of helpful wickets.
Just on Joseph, who you touched on a moment ago, and I know you spoke about the broader issue around Test cricket ahead of this match, but how important is it for Test cricket, and what can be done to ensure that a guy like Usman Joseph, who clearly is going to have a lot of franchise interest as well, can continue to play Test cricket and have a long and storied career?
Yeah, it's not really, kind of doesn't really come under my remit, but you want to make sure that it's, like this week we had 60,000 people turn out. You want to keep incentivising Test cricket because the fans want it, especially here in Australia. So, whatever we can do to keep incentivising Tests above some of the other franchise cricket at times. But, I don't really know how that actually looks in practice.
Just back on the pitcher stuff, you mentioned how much more seed movement there is now than when you sort of started playing home tests in 2017, 18, 19, that period. In light of reshuffle top order, do you have to recalibrate what your expectations are of your batting group and how you measure how things work and how much time it may take for this newish shaped top order to bed down their positions?
I think it's been like this for the last 4 or 5 summers, really. It's been hard work a lot of the time, so it makes the hundreds and the guys averaging 40, 50 look even, I think, more impressive, knowing that even when you're in, you still might have a ball with your name on it. So we don't really hold too many expectations, to be honest. It's about trying to win and get as many runs as we can. So in terms of averages or those kind of things, doesn't really matter. I mean, a series here might look very different to, say, New Zealand in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah. Just to follow up Dan's question about sort of T20 and whatnot. I mean, you obviously with ACA, FICA, you have discussions about things like calendar windows and whether obviously January is becoming a month where there's a lot of franchise cricket, which is clearly affecting the ability of some teams to put the best Test sides out. Have you thought at all about that concept of windows rather than having everything overlaid?
Again, not really. Not much. I know that's been floated a couple of times, and if that works, potentially. But honestly, I've not thought about it too deeply.